old texture, modern, old, 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 modern, old. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Led you here. I counted on it.
Modern. This is something that I've been asking for a long time, especially on the PC with the original SR2 and all the trouble that I had trying to get that game running right about 6 or 7 months ago. And when I saw that remastered trailer of Soul Reaver 1 and 2, this became my #1 game that I was looking forward to, where I loved the original Soul Reaver games. And it's no secret that I'm a fan of the Legacy of Kain series, especially with that incredible storyline that links up all the games. So I got to admit I did not know how to review this, where I already reviewed the original games, and a lot of the stuff I'll be repeating over again, like the puzzles or the story and the characters, so I'm not going to do that here. Instead I'm going to leave a link or something along those lines to my original vids that I've done, so if you want to know more about the campaign and the gameplay, it'll probably be here or maybe in the description. However, this is more to see what they have done from the past 2 games and comparing the modern version to Soul Reaver 1 on the Dreamcast and SR2 on the old PC version port that I played. Soul Reaver 1 and 2 is a part of the Legacy of Kain series, what came out after Blood Omen, and there are 5 games in total. I would say that this is not a full remastered, it's more like a light version if I compare it to something like Destroy All Humans remake. It's not on that level. The best way that I can describe it is it's like a HD version of the game with higher quality texture mods that I can turn off and on at any time, and this game does try and keep true to the original format of the past 2 games. I like the fact that I can change from the modern version to the classic graphics at any time, and this includes the cutscenes as well. And this is something that I kept on doing, is flickering back and forth to see what's the difference from the old graphics to the new, to see what has been changed, and I did enjoy that probably a bit too much. And the new textures on the environments has mostly been up-resed and overhauled, and it's a nice welcome like the window glass pictures in SR1 and the doors and the shrine. To me, SR1 looks good. Nevertheless, some textures are more harder to see what they have upgraded. Mainly I noticed this on the environments in SR2, like the squid arms. Except don't get me wrong, they have done a lot in SR2, like the Light Reaver statue, that just looks good now. And usually it's an upgrade over the original, it's just now and again it's hard to tell what has been done to the environments, but the new textures and design on raziel looks much better now to me. And same with the characters, this is where I felt like this was the main focus of the game of the overhaul, where they look just so brilliant and more realistic now. I love the way how this made every boss look more alien, animalistic, vampire from Rahab to Micaiah, and Sephiron just looks badass and more horrifying in general. I would say that SR1 has had the most done to it compared to SR2. Only I did find it a bit weird in SR1 on Kain's look, except I think that this is down to the old default pose that he has in the game, because in SR2 he looks quite good. Maybe his eyes pop out a bit more than they're supposed to me, yet I think that I'm just being really picky here. And the character designs in SR2 are done brilliantly again, like Janos and Borodor's redesign. I love that, and same with Ariel. I prefer these modern textures over the old ones. They just look much better now. But I do have something to say with Mobius. The modern textures on him is great, and I like the new way of how he looks now. Although in the old textures I can make out his pale eyes, and there are some scenes where Mobius has a lot of motion in his eyes what I can make out in the original games. But in the modern texture version his shifty eyes are more pale, and it loses that emotion to me what he had. As for the enemies, they too have had a look overhaul, from the vampires to the humans to the odd-green thing in the spirit realm. I think they've done a remarkable job of bringing these characters in more details and more to life now. For the controls, I think they have been tightened up a bit. Mainly I noticed this on SR1, where there's these pillows that I climb up, what are in a spiral sort of thing, just before I faced the giant fish. I sort of remember this on the Dreamcast version, that this took me around about 4 to 5 attempts to climb these pillows, except here I've got it on the second attempt, and that saved me a lot of frustration compared to what it was before. And they also add this icon now what can be interacted with in the world, what I thought was a good idea, and the modern version on the PC is controller compatible now. For the AI I didn't notice anything different in their behaviour, I think it's pretty much the same as the old games. There seemed to be a day and night cycle now in SR1, which was a nice addition, and I'm happy to see that they included a map now, so I know where I'm going when I'm teleporting all around the place. And I'm always achieving high frame rates throughout the game. However, there are bugs in the modern version that I encountered, like the one near the water shrine, where I went through the map and I didn't actually know where I was for about a minute or so. And I don't remember this being in the Dreamcast version. And I encountered a texture bug in SR2 in the Reaver trial, where it shows a cube where Raziel places a heart in the mubby so the statue can eat its soul. And there is one thing that puzzles me, is that there don't seem to be any settings of resolution in the game or at the title screen, so I don't know if it's in 4K or 1080p, or if the settings in the game files like in the old school games where you went and sell it through that way. I just don't get why this was overlooked. And sometimes it's way too dark to see anything, where there's no dark or light slider, what most games have now. And this ain't even in the option menu. So I had to change the settings on my monitor when I was playing this game, and I don't remember this with the original versions. Hopefully they will give an update patch where I can change the settings in the future. Yet there is bonus content of cut level designs and bosses for any Legacy of Kain fan out there, and even I had to check this out, where there was a lot of cut content with SR1, like the smokestack stage. I just love that I got to explore these unused stages, and yeah, they're not finished, but it shows how far they got with it back in the day before it got cut. And it's like the Terrell boss fight. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I got to interact with him a bit here. Even though I couldn't really defeat him, or he weren't really designed what he was supposed to do. But it's nice to see him here. And I can't forget they included behind the scenes, and seeing the actors doing the voices of these characters is much appreciated. And seeing them having fun with the Soul Reaver project, I adored that they put this in the Remastered for me to view all this. It seems like this was created by the fans for the fans of the game, especially with that fan art as well. So in the end, I appreciated Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered. It's got a lot going for it and makes me wonder what's next. Maybe we might get a Blood Omen 1 and 2. And seeing how they would remaster the first game would be interesting to see. Or maybe there's a whole new game in the works. Only time will tell. Marius.
Do you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me? I'm the time streamer. I knew your every intention before you did, you imbecile.
So if you play Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered, what do you think of it? Leave it in the comments below. Until next game, I'm off.